You keep telling me to make it, yeah, to the spot where we would stay lit, and finish bottles never wasted, yeah, cause that's where I'm from.
Hello and welcome to an episode of On Campus. This is Ashley Ching, Solano County's Miss Fairfield. Today I'm joined with a special guest, Mr. Tom Bilbo of Solano Pride Center. It's especially important that we have him here today because I noticed that on campus we currently do not have a student club representing our gay students. So it's great to have you here, Tom.
Great, thank you for having me.
Introduce us to Solano Pride Center. What is it?
So Solano Pride Center is a nonprofit charity that was developed to provide mental health services and community building programs and support services to the LGBTQ population of Solano County. We are about 20 years old. Actually, we are 20 years old. We were founded in 1998 as an advocacy group and advisory group for the LGBT youth population here in the county. And we've grown since then. We changed our name from it was Advisory Committee into the Solano Pride Center. We have a physical center in Fairfield, and we're opening another one in Vallejo, California. So we're trying to cover the large populations in Solano County, and we're reaching out and having different activities in all the different cities of Solano County.
One of the first things you mentioned was the mental health aspect of it. What kind of challenges are posed to people who identify as LGBT?
There's a couple of things. One, it's isolationism is a big factor. So it's people who think that they're the only ones, and which some people think in this day and age, who would think that? But that comes up a lot, where people feel isolated, and that can also lead to, in extreme cases, suicide. And so a lot of our programs are designed to end isolationism and bring people together to let them network and find friends and provide peer support. So that's one aspect. The other thing is just some people have problems getting through the day. And so we have specialty services provided by a counselor that allows them to talk it out.
That's great.
And it's free. That is a no-charge counselor or session that they can get through the center. We're offering services in Fairfield, and we will be offering them in Vallejo as well once we get a facility set up to do that. We also offer youth services as far as like having activities and things for LGBTQ youth that identify as something on the spectrum. They can come and have a safe space. We also invite our allies to come as well.
What do you mean by allies?
People who support are they're in a support role for an LGBTQ citizen within the community, or they also just support us. So it's, we have a lot of supporters, like the mayor of Vallejo, Bob Sampayan, we consider him a huge ally. He's helped us with fundraising as well as been at all of our events. On the board of supervisors, we have Monica Brown and Aaron Hannigan, and they're big supporters of ours. So those are what we consider our civic allies, but then we also have just personal allies, people who come and help out at events and do stuff to help us with our mission. And that mission is we also provide bigger events too, like our Up Bay Pride, which we had last year and we're having again this year. It's bigger and better. It's going to be down in Vallejo this year.
Can you tell us more about that event? Yeah,
it's a multi-day event that it has a comedy night to start on May 19th, and then we go to a youth prom on May 26th. And then the second week of June, we have a series of events that includes a poetry night on the 6th. Vallejo Admirals is having a Pride night, Up Bay Pride night at their baseball game. They're going to be raffling off some specialty jerseys that the players will be wearing during the game. And then on the 8th, we're having Pride Art Walk. So Vallejo has a monthly art walk on the second Friday of each month. And so Solano Pride is going to be sponsoring that, and by way of getting a street closure and things like that, and also promoting what we're calling queer art in the community. So bringing out LGBTQ artisans who want to display their art or written word.
I remember that visiting your center, you also have a library. You have literary works.
Yeah, we do have a library.
Available.
But and a lot of the authors that are in the community have contributed to that library, and we're inviting them out to come to the art walk, and then we'll also be having some of those at our festival, which is on the 10th.
10th
of June. So this is all happening in the June timeframe before San Francisco's Pride, but in time for in the same month.
I didn't realize this was such a big event. You said this was in Vallejo for about a week.
Yeah, it's in Vallejo. We have a series of events in Vallejo. And the 9th, we have a gala/dance kind of thing going on as well. We'll have performers there. And then on the 10th, it's an open-air festival on the Vallejo waterfront. And we'll have performers. That includes everything from musicians to the spoken word and also drag queens performing. And we have about 30 vendors lined up.
Wow.
That will be participating in a couple of food trucks too. Not to mention we'll have our own services on display and stuff, and we'll be selling Pride gear and stuff too if people want to do that, to get ready to participate in our Pride, but also to go through and go into San Francisco.
So remind me of the name of that event again in June?
It's Up Bay Pride.
Up Bay Pride.
Yeah, you can find it on Facebook under Up Bay Pride. You can also find it on our website at solanopride.org. But that's our main sort of event that we've developed to sort of bring out the community and bring in a large response to bring them all together. Last year we had about 350 people attend the festival, and I think we sold 120 tickets to our gala night last year. So we're looking to up that because it is a fundraising mechanism for us. We get sponsors to sponsor the events, and then we also sell tickets, and we have our own drink dispensary and stuff that we do at the events too.
So in addition to this huge event in June, you also have projects throughout the year. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we have, so there's several monthly things. We have a youth night that happens twice a month at the center. Our youth director, Jamie Ellsbooth, he's been doing it for a while, and we were able to hire him. So we just staffed up at the center to cover a lot of things. But he handles the youth. They do everything from dances and things that bring them together to art projects and just peer support as well. It's mainly about to bring the youth that are sort of squirreled away and not finding any support, bring them out and they have a safe space. So that's for the youth. And then we also have the other end of the spectrum. We have a Gay and Gray that happens monthly. It's a peer support group that they meet, they have lunch, and they talk about different topics each time. And that's for the older generation, like 55 plus. And then that in that particular area, there's a lot of issues with people who were out maybe in their lives, but then they had to go into a care facility, and they have to go back in the closet. And so that's another thing that we're working on, is trying to reach out to care facilities and to help them, to educate them.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, it's an issue that whenever you get into that generation, they're not as open as my generation and your generation. So it's getting, we can't leave them behind. And so this Gay and Gray, there are transportation things, transportation services that can be acquired for someone who wants to go to the event. But you can find it on our Facebook page as well as on the website, solanopride.org. We do it in coordination with a group called Faith in Action, and they provide senior services, and so we're providing an LGBTQ aspect to that.
Okay. And I see that you've also brought a visual here. Can you explain
Yeah,
that?
so this is another thing that we're doing, and it's called We Welcome All, and it's a poster that we have created, as well as door clings that businesses can sign up for to show that they are welcoming to everyone. And it's something that we're doing not just for the LGBTQ population, but for all populations that might feel in some minority status or they feel that they are not safe. And so this is something that we're giving away free to businesses to start. We just started giving them out, and so we're looking for businesses that want to have them. So we'll be either knocking on their doors or they can knock on ours.
Great.
So that's sort of a program that's built into what we call our cultural competencies, and we do training as well as this type of information to get people used to the culture of the LGBTQ population. And so the other thing that we do besides that is we also reach the middle age group with things like a pizza night. We have game nights. There's other we have a book club, so people can come and read books, and that's for any generation. There's also a trans support group that meets monthly, and it's for people 18 and above. They're either trans, intersex, or they consider themselves fluid.
Okay.
And they're welcome. It's a safe space to discuss and to find support and network.
Can you
with other
distinguish
trans
the
individuals.
different types? Trans, you said gender fluid,
Mm-hmm.
and also intersex. What are the differences?
Well, trans is someone who was born one sex and really is not comfortable in that sex, and they want to go to the opposite.
Like Caitlyn Jenner, for example.
That is one example.
Okay.
The other one is Chaz Bono. We prefer Chaz Bono to Caitlyn, just because he's more out there
Okay.
and supportive. And also he's the son of Cher. You gotta love that. Cher is our goddess. So those folks, they go from either male to female. And so like Caitlyn went from male to female, and Chaz went from female to male. Then there's others who what we call intersex, or they identify intersex, are asexual, and they rather not be identified as any sex. And they're fluid. They're what we call gender fluid, and so they don't particularly prescribe to one presentation of sexuality or another. So one day they may be presenting male, another day they may be presenting female, or a blend. And so that's what we're trying to give a safe space for those people to network and come together.
Great.
A couple of other things that we have for the youth is we have a Pride and Poetry night. Not night, but a group that meets, and it's really about expression. So it's not just poetry. They can also do any type of written word. It's stories, etc. But it's oftentimes people who are feeling not comfortable in their own skin, or not comfortable in their environment. They can come there, and through written word, they can find comfort and solace.
So what advice would you have for people who feel unsafe or isolated because of their sexuality?
First, reach out to the Solano Pride Center.
Mm-hmm.
We have people that can help. Our board, we're an active board, and so we are involved. But we also have volunteers, and we also have a network of people that can help you. Not just our staff, but other folks too within the community. The other thing is really to utilize services like ours and whatnot to find a safe space, and to talk to it about people that you think or that you know would be safe to talk to. So here on campus, faculty, teachers, or faculty and staff that might be considered safe. And so that's something that we would also like the faculty members to have these posters too, if they want to be a safe space and welcoming to them.
How can community members become involved with Solano Pride Center? Volunteering or otherwise?
Volunteering, we're always looking for volunteers. For not just our events, but for regular staffing of the center. So they can go to solanopride.org and you can sign up to be a volunteer. We're also a nonprofit, so we can take your donation. It's tax deductible under the current tax law. And you can write that off on your taxes. But that money goes in to help us with things like construction paper for the youth for their projects, markers, tape, ink for the printer, because we let them design their own digital artwork and then print it out. There's all sorts of little expenses that don't come up from some of the contracts that we have with like the county and UC Davis for the stuff that we supply. So there's those kind of things. And we do fundraising as well. Come out and support our events. That's something else. So like we have a game night coming up on the 16th of March. They can come out and visit with us at the game night. It's on Facebook as an event. It's also on our website. They can find out about that. The other thing is we're also going to be having a community meeting on the 15th of March in Vallejo to talk about what the Vallejo Center needs to do, and also how the community can get involved. And then with that, we're actually looking to find people to sign up to staff the center, because we have a limited budget to hire people, and so we need people to help fill in the gaps. And it could be anything from folding flyers to welcoming people into the center and getting them to sign in, and all that kind of stuff.
And wrapping up, is there anything else you want to say about Solano Pride Center that we haven't covered yet? Either from your experience in your life, how it's affected you?
I will say this, I come from a very conservative background from South Mississippi, and so it's a great place that I found to be home here in California. And not just in the locale that I live, but the people that I now have in my life, thanks to the center. Some of the examples of things that we've done is we've in my backyard, we built a float for the 4th of July parade for the Vallejo City 4th of July parade. And that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun, but you get a lot of glitter. But yeah, so it's been a good avenue for me to sort of funnel good deeds and good work into the community for myself. And then I know that I speak for the rest of the board. Our main mission is to make sure that Solano County's LGBTQ population is represented at a level with mental health services, with advocacy programs, and across the board in all the cities and in the county area as well.
Wonderful. Tom, thank you for coming out and representing Solano Pride Center.
Thank you so much for having me.
Again, this is Ashley Ching, Solano County's Miss Fairfield with Solano College Sports Network. Remember, respect yourself, teach people how to treat you, and know you can walk away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Celia Esposito Noy. Thanks for watching the Solano College Sports Network.
If you are interested in a career in sports broadcasting, whether you're commentating a live game,
or hosting your own TV show,
or working behind the scenes, then this is the class for you.
For more information, contact Greg Poff, that's me, at solano.edu.
we hope to see you here next semester, and remember,
It's more than just sports, it's an education.